it to an extent, because Twitch is like, technically you're an employee of Twitch, blah blah blah, what, like, because you're an affiliate, so technically you're under
Not on this
their
channel.
like umbrella. Well, no, but I'm saying, like, that's what I mean with their copyright strike stuff. In
Yeah, but
general, I get it.
I'm not an
But
employee because I'm not affiliated on this channel.
right, but like, are they really gonna have a lawsuit for like
Ah, that's Twitch for
$10
you.
of ad revenue that they're fucking
I
gaining?
know, right? Right. Anywho, we are now live on the Twitchiness for episode 7 of our story. So a recap from last session, episode 6. So last we left off, you had made your way through Durst Manor, through its lower levels and through the family crypt, which had been converted into a den for the cult that Gustav and Elizabeth had created and were running, dealing with traps and strange creatures, eventually finding yourselves in a flooded room where 13 figures appeared and started to chant, "One must die," repeatedly. Upon failing to secure an adequate sacrifice, the chant changed and a creature rose from the murky waters and attacked. This vile thing, made up of many bodies, humanoid and animal, seemed to not care apart from wanting to absorb someone, which it found a ready victim in Ripple. Reaching out, snatching Ripple up, and beginning to absorb her and with it into itself to become part of it. But with the aid of your companions, you managed to break free. Reed was also rendered unconscious during this battle with a huge sweeping attack, which also left Arcos on the verge of collapse. Eventually, the divine energy from Orvan altered the creature, and you found yourselves face to face with Gustav Durst, who bade you to sacrifice him and take the remains of his children to the old windmill and lay them to rest. The house was not yet done, however, and as you fleeing for your lives through the shaking, crumbling house, through the undercroft, back through the house, it seemed to start to fall apart around you. Making it back into the streets of Bereska, and now near dark, you watch as the house imploded and disappeared, leaving nothing but a vacant lot. Needing rest, you make your way through the narrow streets and the darkened houses of Bereska. You find an inn named Blood of the Vine, where you hired rooms and sat down for a much-needed meal and drinks. Garnishing some unwanted attention from a few locals, a young woman, kind, introducing herself as Tatyana, Bereska's mayor, invites you to her home the next day and offers you some friendly advice. Eventually, you all find rest, albeit restless, but rest nonetheless. And pretty much this is where we rejoin you now, is we start a new day in this strange land where you still are not yet sure where that may be. It's just a place you're not familiar with. You all come to consciousness in your respective rooms. I believe you hired 2 rooms. You had girls and boys, for want of a better term. So we will start in the ladies' room. As you all come to consciousness, again, rested but not rested at the same time. This place is foreign to you, and you are not entirely sure how you came to be here. You're still not entirely sure where here is. This inn was warm. It wasn't, again, not familiar, but it's definitely enough to gain a full rest for the evening. So is there any rituals that you potentially go through in the mornings? Is there a morning routine that you have? So we'll start with Orvan, being the cleric of the group. Is there a morning routine that maybe Orvan would go through as she wakes, or is it just a general thing for her?
I think that probably just go off into the, like, after having such a vivid, like, a restless night, like wrestling with what's going on with us being here, and how I'm kind of blaming myself a little bit. I'm just gonna go pray to my god and just be in the corner, making sure like I just want to keep them safe. I just want to not have anything happen.
And again, as per the night before, the connection with your deity just seems not lost, but very far. Like it's fairly distant. It just doesn't feel right to you. This whole place is just wrong for you. Makes you a little uncomfortable. You feel like your message may have definitely it's gotten through. You still have a connection, but it's definitely not as strong as it usually is, which does make you feel uncomfortable in this space. But you're able to reach out and make those remarks. So you move yourself away from the other two. Ripple, is there any particular routine Ripple goes through in the morning, or you just generally get up and get started for the day?
Stretch and go over everything. I'm thinking, no, everything seems to be okay, and then carry on. Coffee is what you need.
Coffee is easily gotten. I would imagine in the rooms you'd have the ability there'd be like a stove where you'd have the ability to boil water, and there'd be certain things provided, even though it's a simple, and things like that would be there and available to you. Sayara, is there a morning ritual that Sayara goes through?
I light my little candles, get my morning taroka going, see the day. I'm gonna just sit and meditate for a little bit and then think, I see that there is someone special in the air today, girls. It's going to be good. And that's pretty much me.
You don't feel weird? You don't feel this place is strange?
I mean, look at us. We're all strange.
It's true.
Speaking of
just
Taroka,
gives me the ick.
So Sayara, I will get you to just roll a d20 for me, and we'll see what the outcome of that is.
Mm-hmm.
16. So you go through your routine, you light your candles, you're sort of meditating on things, and just unconsciously you lay out some of your Taroka cards, getting a general reading for the day. As you generally do, you do it often to guide you in your life and certain things. Something is a little off with your reading this morning. There's definitely some positivity there. I mean, and as generally it happens with you. But you turn up a card which doesn't come up often. And it's a card that definitely worries you. It's something dark coming your way. Like, you're not sure what it is. You can't, the reading is unclear, but there's something dark in the near future. And again, you can't get an exact feeling for it. It's very odd.
Do we notice, like, does Sayara react at all to that?
Does Sayara react at all to the card, or does she try and hide because it would probably throw you just a little bit. Like the reading, normally you get a reasonable reading and it's usually pretty positive. You do occasionally get some dark readings, but this one in particular, this reading, maybe it's this place, but there's something different about it, and it would stand out to you, and it probably would concern you. So whether you show that concern is up to you. If you want to try and hide it, you can roll a deception roll.
I just told them it was going to be a good day, and then I look down and I see like
I'd say you didn't notice it at first.
Yeah, I do a little double take, which would probably be noticeable because she's my friend. So, I do a little double take, and I kind of stare too long at a certain card, and think, oh well, maybe a little bit weird, possibly.
Still a good day. Still says. Are we having an?
It's what you make of it.
Sure.
We'll
what
see.
does the card usually represent? What does it say?
Chaos. But,
Oh.
chaos can be good.
That's true.
I mean, the barkeep was a bit weird, don't you think? Maybe that was.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just that.
I'm not sure what the vibe is with all of those other people looking us up and down. Though I mean, I guess because we are new, maybe they don't get outsiders a lot. And that manor was weird. Also, they didn't notice that the manor was gone. Don't you think that's weird too?
Place tends to look at the people. They all look the same. They don't seem different races and sizes here, probably.
Oh, were they all above
They
zero?
were-
Were they all humans?
They were all humans. So far, the only people the only the only living things that you've met in this realm so far are human. And outwardly appearing human, we will say.
Ripple, how do you feel about that, though? You are not.
Strange.
I would say you've all. I would say you've all in your lives have all been to places which are predominantly human or humanoid, where there have been very few of the other races around. But like I say, everyone. I mean, you've not met many people in this place so far. You've literally been to Durst Manor and to the inn, and everyone you've met so far is human. Obviously, you've had a run-in with the werewolves, which is not unusual. Werewolves are where you're from as well. Obviously, not as probably not as aggressive as this pack seemed to be. But yeah, so far, humans only.
I mean, for the most part, I can get away with it. Just hide my ears. I guess we'll just have to go and talk to this mayor. See what they have to say, and then I get rid of these bones that we're carrying around. Those poor kids.
Go wake up the boys.
And we'll leave the ladies there for a moment, and we'll head over to the men's room. So same question posed for you guys. As you wake, we'll start with Reed. Reed, is there a morning ritual that Reed goes through on a daily basis,
Yes.
or he just, again, up and ready to go?
He would be, well, before he dons his armor and picks up his scimitar, he'd be like going over his runes, like polishing it up, doing any like little mending to his armor and such. Just his basic, maintenance of his craft, So
No worries. So just a simple morning routine.
Yep.
And Arcos. Same thing for you, sir.
Marcos will start the morning by working on his mechanical arm. He was told to take good care of it, particularly when it got wet. So he's just like tightening things up, making sure it works the way it's supposed to. And then he starts a little bit of light airboxing, mostly because of the thing he did the previous night before. And he mutters a little thing to himself. Grant me the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference, and the patience my companions so severely need. He sort of says that through gritted teeth as he looks at the other two.
No worries. And lastly, Jurek. Any morning routine for you, sir?
He's probably the first one awake. Gets up early as soon as first light comes through.
Which would be different here. That like there's no sun coming through the window. There's definitely light. You can tell it's daytime, but it's still very dim and dark and sort of, which would be probably a bit of a concern to you guys. It still feels like it's later in the day than it really is, even though it is early morning.
And he takes out his photography gear and just spends the morning jotting down the path they've taken the day before, including as much detail as he can remember.
Roll a history check for me just to see what you remember from the previous day. DC's not high.
I literally thought you said photography, and I was like, what? And then realized you meant freaking maps.
Cartography, yes. So even with a 9, like I said, the DC wasn't stupid high. You remember, you've got a rough idea of direction. You're pretty good at direction anyway, map making or map reading and things. So you've got an idea that you started in the east of this village, and where the Durst Manor was, on the road you came in on was on that eastern side of the village, and you traversed to the center of the village. So you've got an idea, and you're also told by the mayor that her house is to the south. So you've got an idea of roughly where you're at. Easy enough to sort of jot down a quick sort of idea of where you're at within this small village so far.
And then after he's done with that, he does a kind of a meditation sort of style. Yoga is not the right word, probably more like a Tai Chi. Just
Okay.
to keep himself
Limber.
nimble. and
Easily
lithe.
enough done. Any discussion to be had in the boys' room before the group re-merges and decides what the day is going to bring?
What a glorious day.
As you
Assuming
open
it
the
is
window,
day.
as you open the window to a foggy, dingy, grey day.
Yeah, it definitely looks it.
Yeah, sure.
I'm enjoying this holiday.
What? It's not a holiday. We were on a job and now we're stuck in this dingy place.
Isn't this how holidays work? You start walking and then you don't know where your feet will take you.
Is it dingy or is it dreary?
Both. And no, that's not how vacations usually work. Have you ever been on a vacation?
Yes,
You'd
plenty.
probably be used to fog, aren't you? Puck?
It's not.
Ships and all, you know?
It's not what you want on a ship, though.
That's fair.
Speaking of fog and mist, as Reed mentions that, you glance out the window, and you are, I mean, as a former captain of a ship, and you have dealt with heavy mists and heavy fogs. You know what they smell like. You know what they feel like on the face. You know you're rather familiar with such things. And in saying that, as you sort of look out the window and you get a scent of the air, like there's a slight breeze that blows through the window, and you get a scent of this place. And this does not feel or smell anything remotely close to any mist or fog you've ever encountered in your life. It has a very, not a scent per se as far as a actual smell, but you know, that sort of moisture you get with a typical sea mist or sea fog. It's almost a dry mist, but it also has a really, it sets you on edge just looking out into it. It makes you feel uneasy. Almost unnatural, one would say.
There's nothing right about this place. I've been in some pretty dreadful places, but there's a malice to the air in this place. I do not like it.
That's called your mood. Slap him on the back.
Might have to agree with Puck on this one.
Oh, come now. If we just treat everything bad as, then we'll just expect it to be bad all the time. To stay positive.
Seem
Whatever
to be having
helps you,
some technical difficulties with Mr.
He's-
Reed.
Turn into a robot.
Turned into a robot?
Yeah,
He's still there. His camera's just a bit frothy. All good. So anything else from the boys?
We should
guess we
catch
should
up
show
with the
ourselves.
others.
Yeah, we don't want to give them the impression that we're sleeping in.
Nor do we want to leave them to their own devices. I feel like the three of them might get up to some mischief we cannot mend.
And with that, you will eventually join each other in the hallway as you all basically come to the same conclusion that you're going to catch up with the rest of the group. So in the hallway, you come together once again for a new day. You all seem well rested, though Reed still looks a little lethargic after his brush with death.
That stupid noise. Oh my god. I'm gonna keep forgetting to turn it off. Well, you're right, Reed. Let's go get some breakfast. You look like you might need some food. Might perk you up.
Food's always
Nope.
nice. Yeah.
So Reed, you feel okay. Like you've rested, you feel rested, but again,
Right.
you feel a little off too, within yourself. And I have marked how long that will last for my notes. I'll keep track of that, and I'll let you know. So just remember, anything strength or dexterity based is at disadvantage for you. So that will include attacks as well.
All
I
right,
dealt with it
breakfast.
during all
Let's
the fights
go!
so far. So
Yeah. So you all head back down, well, not downstairs. This is a single-story building. So you head back into the main part of the inn. The place is empty, apart from the barkeep that you met the evening before. Looks the same, sullen, eyes sunken in, just literally going through the motions. Doesn't even really look up at you as you walk into the room.
Hi. It's us from yesterday. Hello.
He stops and turns and looks at you, doesn't speak, just waits for whatever you want to, whatever you're inquiring about.
We're not gonna be here very long. Can we get some breakfast, please? What's the
What
specials?
do you want?
Coffee.
And he sort of just nods and turns, and then turns
Pancakes?
back and goes, food.
pancakes.
Ripple,
What
you also
are
need to eat some
pancakes?
food,
What
not
kind
just
of
coffee.
what kind of food do you have?
He turns, comes back, and he almost chucks a bowl onto the bar. It's like a simple bowl, and it's just filled with a grey sludge
Porridge?
stuff. Looks, it could be mistaken for porridge, yes.
Is there any bread? I'm happy with just bread. Mind
So-
you, used to eat worse at sea. Let's dig in.
And he drops down it looks like a fresh, like, cooked bun bread, but as it hits the counter,
Funk.
it's probably days old. Like, it's solid, like clunks down on the counter, and it's
Hardtack at this point.
yeah.
Eating with it just at
You could
sea.
probably eat the center of it, but the
Yeah.
crust would be a bit of a challenge by the looks of it. So basically,
Just start getting my
you
coffee.
definitely get coffee. You get if you require it, you do get several bowls of this oatmeal porridgey looking stuff,
Gruel.
which smells terrible. Like, it's not.
Oh.
It doesn't smell nice at all. And this solid ass chunk of bread.
I just
I
look.
ordered the chef special.
That's pretty
I
much
look
it.
across at Saira and I'm like, save that bread roll. We might need it to throw at people later.
Mm.
Do you have any apples?
He ignores you. Like, at the stage, he's turned and gone back to whatever he's doing, and it's just, again, he disappears from sight from time to time, comes back, washing things up, putting stuff, sort of setting things into a certain place, and then disappears back into what you would assume would be the kitchen. So the one
Is
thing
Reed
that I'll tell
actually-
you that really stands out with this guy, like he's about 6 foot something tall, he's solid built, but his eyes are really kind of sunken in. He's dark circles around his eyes. When he looks at you, and even when he speaks, it's almost like there's just the lights are on, nobody's home. Like it's a blank look, no emotion, no life, for want of a better term.
What he eats for breakfast.
Maybe the apples that can't get. Are you actually dunking that in the coffee?
Ooh.
I would be
So
dunking bread in
Reed
coffee.
dunks
Does that taste good?
So first things first, Reed, as you
Better
go,
than rock.
how do you try and...
I would
do you
cut it
use
with my glaive
You got to try and cut it with your glaive?
or with my scimitar.
Yeah,
I'd
I mean, your
soak it in
scimitar's sharp,
coffee and-
so it definitely is able to cut through it. The crust, the crust on this bread is hard. Like you'd have to almost, you got to peel it off. Like
Oh, yeah,
that
I'd be
is
like-
hard. So, but the inside of the bread, funnily enough, is actually not too bad. Like it's not fresh by any means, but it's not stale either. So the meat of the bread, if you will, the inside of the bread's actually pretty good. The crust itself is solid as hell. There's no way in hell you're going to eat that. Like if you tried to eat that, you're going to break something. It is super solid.
Right.
But yeah, dunking it in the
I'd
coffee.
soak it in coffee and then try to,
yeah, it works.
on it.
It's enough to sustain you.
I'm gonna try the same.
And
Never
it's,
tried it
again,
before.
it's bread and coffee. I mean, it's a bit stodgy, but it's doable. It definitely better than the gruel that's in the bowl. Like the smell of the stuff, it almost has a kerosene kind of smell to it. Like it's a real chemical type smell. Does anyone try it? Is the question.
Arcos
Oh, I
sort of
dig in.
stirs it and he's like, I watched a man eat his foot once, ingrown toenails and all. I thought he had a better meal than this is.
Captain.
Don't.
Captain,
No.
we used to get worse than this at sea.
I
Some
beg
days.
to differ.
I'm too
The
scooped
ship's
in,
cook
like,
was
you should
actually
have
pretty
ordered the
good.
special.
So
I'm not talking particularly that shit, but you know, I've had worse. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, God.
who tastes it?
Me.
Ripple?
Yeah,
Is it
I'm a couple
Arcos?
spoons in.
Yorick as
Nah.
well. So Arcos sort of stirs around, plays with it a little bit, and then pushes it away
Yeah,
from
sees
himself.
if it's got anything that moves on its own in it. You know.
No, it's just a gruel. Surprisingly, Ripple, as you take a spoonful, it's actually not unpleasant. As unpleasant as it smells. Again, it's not great by any means, but it's not
tastes okay.
unpleasant. Rick, you're the same. It's not terrible. Not great,
Should
but
have
not
ordered the
terrible.
special.
on
as my
the
brother
that-
would say, it's food.
yeah. I'm gonna dig into
So yeah, like I said, anyone who eats it, you are sustained for the first part of the day at the very least. Like it's not horrible, even though it has a really chemically smell to it. It doesn't smell pleasant, but it's not bad. Serviceable.
awesome.
So,
All
any
right.
discussion at the table before you head out? Or anything else you want to discuss here or talk to anyone else? Not there's anyone else in the bar. It's just the bar the owner or who you assume the owner is. Every now and again
We-
pops in and sort of mills around and heads out to the kitchen again.
We do need to go and see Tatyana Corliana at some point this morning before we go anywhere. That's the mayor. She asked us if we'd go and see her today. If anybody had forgotten. Probably not.
Just
Or
just a
slept.
note. Reed would be sitting on the table that everyone's sitting at, on the edge, just swinging his feet, eating, dunking his bread.
And surprisingly, you get no reaction from the barkeep. Normally you would.
Right.
For swinging his feet.
Just sitting
For
on the
sitting
table.
at the table.
Ripple just kind of smooches him off and says, scooches him off and says, tables are for glasses, not asses.
I can barely reach the table if I sit on the chair.
stand.
How about you sit?
You can come and sit on my knee if you need to reach the table.
Oh, fuck.
Told you
You
we
bite
would
that
find
too much.
love.
I mean, isn't Argos having a similar problem? Why can't you do the same?
I have shorter
Because
legs.
he's soft.
Quite soft too. In a cute
In
little.
the best way, but yes.
And
Anyway,
and
why we
actually, technically, you're softer than me. I mean, you're the fluffy one.
not in the ways that count, lad.
Oh wait, no, that's right. You're not fluffy. You're furry.
And he sort of like takes this deep breath in to avoid stabbing you. Why are we seeing this mayor again? Do you think they'll know the way back home?
She knows this place better than anyone. If you really think about it, so well than any of us.
And maybe if we get on their good side, the people will leave us alone.
Mayors
No
have
one cares so much.
connections, yeah.
Networking.
You're the nicest person we've met so far. So
Oh, actually, maybe I could make a connection for some trade.
I was
I just
thinking
want to know
something
where
else,
where all the best sights to see are.
Then she has for breakfast.
Probably up on that cliff wherever that castle is. Ooh, the windmill. We can ask her where the windmill is.
Yes.
You do know where the windmill is. You checked your map previously, the map that came with the
true.
deed to the house and the deed to the windmill. It is marked on that map, so you do now know where the windmill is.
Would like to find out more about the town though that we're in.
I mean, it would be smart to try and figure out where you are, because you have no idea where you actually are in the world at the moment.
Oh, you assume we're smart.
Well, this is true.
What a great DM.
I don't assume anything. I mean, I can see all your intelligence scores, so come on.
Sure.
I mean, we could ask her when that manor actually fell over, because I have a feeling it didn't fall over. Like when we left.
Wait.
I have a feeling that was kind of a deja vu moment.
Have you seen something like this before?
Well, no.
Or you just have
like,
a hunch?
I just had a weird feeling about it. Like
We could check.
no one noticed that it disappeared. Like
I know.
so, and then all of a sudden they were like, we were seeing dead people. Like that's not normal.
I mean, I see dead people all the time. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's your thing. Like we're not supposed to see dead people. You are. You know what I mean?
Maybe she knows more about this. And more about the windmill. If we talk to her.
It's worth a shot. I mean, it's better than talking to those people that were staring at us all night.
Maybe they are dead. And they just are jealous of us being alive.
I mean, she saw them too, so I mean, like,
they might
warned us about them.
Barkeep is deceased too.
This
Look at him.
He's just
Not
dead
sure
inside, kind of like you, Buck.
I'm not.
I agree.
How closely are you looking at the barkeep, Arcos?
I'll stare at him for a bit.
Roll a perception check for me. Yeah, 13. It's not terrible. So, a couple of things you notice about him. Obviously, the more you look at him, he seems to repeat certain actions, almost like he's maybe a little bit special. Like he just seems to be doing the same thing in the same order 2 and 3 and 4 times over. And then as he turns at one point and heads back to the thing, as he comes back out and almost looks directly at you, but you notice he never blinks. Like, there's just a blank stare. Like, he's looking at you, but he's not looking at you. Again, disconcerting and rather odd, to say the least.
Of course, it's rude to stare. Staring.
Fine, he doesn't seem to care about anything.
I mean, most people in customer service are like that, though.
Dead inside.
He's just
Hmm.
daydreaming.
I can vouch for this. I'm in customer service. I'm dead inside.
There's nothing there.
Use your food. Go away.
No complaints.
You need to
Here's
go to
your
the
food,
toilet.
get your shit, get out.
Whatever.
You probably shouldn't joke that everybody is goes CSR outcasts. I know that you're
There's
don't
scared of
other
them.
like
things
them.
other than ghosts. He could be a zombie or a ghoul of some sort.
Or it
Be
could
a
be
little
if he was a
bit.
zombie, don't you
Hard to
think
put
he'd
his
try to
luck.
eat us?
And
I mean, he
speaking
might.
of this, no. As you continue this conversation, he does come back out into the dining room to where you were at and starts clearing your guys' dishes as you empty your cups and that. Again, doesn't talk to you, doesn't make eye contact with anyone. If you make eye contact with him, you would all now notice like just the blankness of his stare. He's not like he's engaging with anyone, and he just collects the dishes and starts walking back. Does anyone say anything to him as he does so?
Say, what do you do for fun around here?
And he turns to acknowledge that you've spoken, but again, just that blank, expressionless face, and almost like it's not like he's ignored you, but he doesn't reply. He just has acknowledged that you've spoken, but doesn't
I'll
make
say-
any move to reply.
I'll say what, and you. I can roll perception if you want. I want to definitely stare at his like demeanor and say, "What do you call a monkey hit by a fireball? A baboon." Does he flinch?
I would say, actually, I'll get everyone to roll a perception for this. I mean, he definitely does not break out in hilarious laughter.
Does he frown?
But we'll see what sort of reactions. We've got a 20 from Arcos. Oh, Jarek, you don't notice anything with a 2. 20 from Ripple. 19 from Reed.
13 for me.
13
was I
for
supposed to-
Orvan.
I'm
Perception.
rolling perception.
Yeah.
All right. Did it? Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Low.
It's not bad. 16 from Sire. So everyone except for Jarek, who might be studying the gruel on his plate. I don't know, whatever he's doing.
He doesn't care about the demeanor of the
Did he
barkeep. He just
lose his
thinks
shit
it's a
over the joke?
hard up done by a person.
How does Jarek? Maybe Jarek found the joke rather funny and is laughing his head off right now, which is why he doesn't notice anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you get zero reaction from him, not even the curl of the lip or a change in his demeanor or expression. Just continues with his work and walks back behind the bar and into the kitchen out of sight.
He's dead.
Not much of a
Fucking
reaction
doornail.
there, was there?
I'm just gonna cast Detect Good and Evil. I want to know for sure.
What's the
So
range
fly.
on that?
30 feet. Detect if they're fey, fiend, or undead.
You don't get any hits for those particular
Oh.
creatures in this vicinity. Like it's an uncomfortable feeling. Like he definitely has the appearance or outward appearance of possibly being undead or not quite alive, but you don't get any pings for that at all.
This lasts for 10 minutes, so
Yeah.
we can
I'll
walk and
make-
I might
yeah.
detect.
I'll make note of that as you continue your travels. So once you've finished your meals and coffee, maybe an hour or so goes by. What's the plan? Someone mentioned about possibly checking Durst Manor as you head towards the mayor's house. Is that what you're wanting to do?
Is it kind of
on the way?
they're in
It's
opposite
kind
directions?
of on. It's
though,
an
right?
opposite direction. I mean, it's not too far out of your way. I mean, it'll take you maybe half an hour to traverse the extra distance.
Yeah.
I mean, the village isn't
So you
huge,
have
so
to go there and then go back.
you'd have to go to the east and then come back towards the south. But like I said, it's not hugely out of your way.
Why not? Let's take a stroll.
All in agreement. So as you leave the Blood of the Vine, you head out into the street, and obviously the first thing you notice, all of you now, as you head out, is it almost feels like to outside. It feels like it's dusk. It's that dark still. Like it's not sunshine, even though it's early morning. You know it's early morning, but this thick fog that just hangs in the air around here just makes everything perpetually grayish and dingy, and it just feels much later in the day than it really is. After really sort of taking that in and then moving through the streets, you notice that, again, now that you can see more clearly with the houses that are in this village, most of these houses are boarded up. Windows are boarded up, doors are all boarded up. There's obviously not many people left in this small village. You might strike one or two houses that might have a window that's not boarded up. And if you were to have a look, you would find it's heavily dusty and unable to see into the window because it's just so obscured. But you get a distinct feeling that most of this place is abandoned. Like there's just not many people living here anymore. I will say, as you head out into the street heading towards the east, you do notice another large building on the southern side of the street that has a sign hanging above the door. Another looks like maybe a merchant. If you take a closer look, it will have on the sign, when I find my list, Evldoa Mercantile. The slight breeze that's here, the metal sign is swinging and it's got a slight squeak as it swings on its hinge. But it looks like it might be Evldoa Mercantile.
Word? Okay,
Yes,
I thought you said
Evldoa.
build your ass. I was
No.
what?
Evldoa.
Build your ass.
Hey,
Anyway.
you write it down. However you write it down, however you need to remember it. If you need to write it down like that to remember it, that's fine.
Like Build-A-Bear, only different.
Yeah, build your
Build
ass.
your ass custom
It is now
characters.
called Build Your Ass Mercantile. Okay, it's
Don't
canon.
stuff a bear, you stuff a.
A white grim. A cripple?
The perennium.
But yes, Evldoa Mercantile. And again, it's not boarded up. It seems to be open. The door's not open, but you would assume that it may be open at this hour of the morning. You're not sure at this point, but maybe you might want to come back to that later, perhaps. You move towards the east of the village, moving back to and towards Durst Manor, where you left it the night before. As you come to where you believe Durst Manor to have stood, you find a ruin of a house. Not an empty section, so you were right to a certain degree, Reed. But you now stand in front of a home that looks like it burnt down long ago. Scarred timbers, scorched timbers, remains of what timbers are still there that haven't rotted away. The partial remains of a bricked chimney or cobblestone chimney. The section itself was heavily overgrown with weeds and thorns and such. But this is pretty much where you ended up in the street the night before, looking back at an empty section. Earlier that day, you were standing looking at a magnificent 3-storied mansion or manor home. Now, nothing but the scarred ruins of what once stood here.
Bizarre.
You were correct. It was fake.
Weird.
We were in that.
That was not fake. That
No.
no.
Group hallucination?
I mean, do you even have the bones still? Were
Oh.
those
Do you
real?
check?
Oh, I don't want to check on the street.
You just look in your bag.
Check for bones.
in my little knapsack of bones, like.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to pull them out, but maybe if I
You
just
wanna-
like feel
yeah,
the
just want to check to see if they're
the
still
sack
in your
that they're hanging
because you had
around in.
them wrapped. So no, you check your bag and the bones are still wrapped in your bag. They're still there.
What? Shut up, bone sack! Shut up.
And we still have the papers?
Sayer?
Thinking about a bone set. What?
Do we still have the papers? Like
Oh
the
yeah,
deed
yeah,
and
yeah.
such?
This, yeah. The
Yes, you
deed,
still
yeah.
have the deed and the map.
Must be some heavy.
I don't get it,
magic.
but this doesn't make sense.
All I can
I'll get
say
you
is
all to
that
make
they-
another perception check for me as you're standing in front of First Manor.
Had what to drink last night?
all I can say is I must congratulate them on their ways that they entertained us last few days.
Yeah, I definitely
I
don't
don't
get
think
it.
this is entertainment.
So Reed doesn't see anything.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Everyone
5.
else, Reed and Orvan don't notice this, but the rest of you do. As you sort of look over the burnt remains of this home, standing in the ruins is, you can sort of see through them, but Rose and Thorn, the two children that you'd met. Well, the two children that you'd met, the spirits of the children you'd met previously, and Rose, they both look not unhappy, but not like static either. But there's almost that look of don't forget us kind of look.
Kind of want to go over and try and. No, I don't. Touch them.
I mean, it's up to you. What do you want to do?
I was just manhandling their bones. You may as well.
Yeah, true. I'll
For
just
those that didn't,
kind of,
again, for those
kind
that
of
did
proper,
see,
really?
yeah, for those that did see them, do you mention it to those that didn't? Is the question.
I would just see them and go to put my hand out.
So
to,
you go move forward because they're in the section. You guys are on the road. They are like in the section and amongst the ruins of the house.
I'd just get closer then, just to
I
make
just
sure my eyes weren't deceiving me.
I just look at the rest of the group and I go, see, now that's the sort of special effects that I like.
As you
I
move
give Derek
forward,
the side eye.
yeah, as you move forward, Ripple, they slowly vanish. Like they're not there
No.
for long.
Okay. And then I'll let the others know that didn't see them. Because Derek's comment must have made everybody go, ah!
We will not
Yeah.
forget them.
We'll put them to rest.
So, do you decide now to move back, or move down, head towards the mayor's home, or do you want to go visit the
We'll have to see
visit
the mayor,
merchant?
the wonderful mayor of this shit town.
Did she say a particular time?
No, she just said tomorrow. She just invited you to her home
In the morning.
and
She just said morning.
in morning time. Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, I
No
don't know. I would
specific
rather
time,
not
yeah.
someone come up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. You know, like go away. Let me get ready. Yeah. Let's go talk to the mayor first. We saw I do want to check that merchant out, but like that's just to get like lay of the land of the town, perhaps. I think we should get her favor first.
Yeah, maybe we can ask her about the store.
Get a discount, huh?
You never know.
Ooh,
Maybe we'll be able to run a tab
that's
Or
true.
we could ask the way
and
back
skip
to the
town.
Duchess. Yes.
But after we go
I
Maybe.
mean, yeah, if we can.
The Duchess? Oh, the
I
Duchess.
mean, we could
Yes,
head
your
east and
yes,
see if we
Riffle,
can
your
find our way
employer.
back. Yeah, we can find our way back, maybe.
Maybe.
Deal with
mean-
Puck.
I mean, the werewolves have probably moved on by now, right?
I mean, you all seem to have moved on. You all seem to want to, put down roots here, grab mysterious deeds to windmills, and talk to everyone in town instead of going home.
We can't go back that way. That was werewolves.
I
Do you
mean, maybe
wanna
they moved
try?
on.
We can kill them.
I wanted to try, but everyone ran away.
Well, I mean, I was there next to you.
I know that.
So not every. But,
Maybe there's a boat. Maybe there's a way around.
a boat.
A boat? I don't know. How do you
Boat
get back
sounds
to
good.
place we come from?
You walk
Down the
through the
river?
woods that we walked through.
But
Right?
there was where they chased us out.
Okay, they're probably sleeping now. I mean, for
Oh.
all we know, they could be miles.
I
We go-
mean,
Let's go see the mayor.
the people are safe here too. Maybe they have a protection spell or something that we can use to get out from werewolves. Just
I
thinking.
mean, didn't we see Wolfsbane in the house? Maybe that's what they used.
Yes, you did. There was
Nobody picked it up.
Wolfsbane in the house.
Yeah. Yeah, no one picked it up. We just wanted crossbows.
So,
Well,
as you walking and talking, I'm assuming, as you make your way towards the mayor's home, you get about a third the way past the inn, and another house catches your attention that does have a wisp of smoke coming from its chimney. A small house, but the other thing you'll notice, and you will all hear this without any need for a perception check, sounds like the sound of soft sobbing, moaning, perhaps coming from within this house as you pass it by, just as a point of reference. Maybe someone sounds might having a bad day. You continue onwards towards the south. Eventually you do come to a house which looks much grander than the rest of the houses you pass. And again, a point of reference, the bulk of the houses here are boarded up, windows boarded, doors boarded. There is not a lot of life left in this small village. You get to the large home, and it looks to be two-storied, quite a bit larger than the rest of the houses in the area. And as you approach, the first thing you will notice is, even though it looks quite grand from a distance, the closer you get to it, the more disheveled the house looks. The front of the house, you can see it's got thick, heavy wooden shutters on the windows, which open. The door looks like it's been roughed up. It looks like it's had a bit of a rough time. The main double solid wood doors. You've got the grounds are overgrown and look like they haven't had much care taken at all, not in recent months anyway. Let's just get a quick nosy at passives here. Ooh, Arcos has got a pretty high passive. Arcos, you might be the only one that notices this. Yes, I would say so. With a 16 passive perception, you pick up on almost immediately setting foot on these grounds, animal tracks. Multiple animal tracks around this yard. Lupine in nature. And there seems to be a lot of them. Like, it's an unusual amount of animal tracks. leave that up to you whether you mention it to anyone else, as no one else would probably really notice it at all.
That's disconcerting. There's a lot of wolf tracks here. Maybe the reason the wolves don't attack the town is the wolves own the town.
But they stopped
Wait.
at the border.
Wait,
I mean, as far as we know, we ran into a
I mean,
ghost
yeah,
house.
the paw prints would stop there, but maybe that's the people that were staring at us.
Need wolves, so that's good.
Yeah, we
For
can finish our
goodness-
mission.
We can.
That's true.
And as you're just sort
We
of
just
looking around
need heads.
discussing this, you hear the front door creak open on this house, and standing in the doorway is the young woman that you'd met the previous evening. She seems a little startled to see you there, like, but not really. Like it's that whole "oh, you're here" kind of look. And she simply says, "Good morning, please. Come inside out of the cold morning air, and let's have
Come
some tea in the parlor." Welcome, welcome. And she steps aside and waits for you all to enter her home.
Go right in.
Have
Is
another
your
tea,
tea
that's-
better than the coffee?
She waits
Probably
for
better than the pub. Let's go.
She
I can have another
waits for you
tea, but
all
I'll need a
to
toilet.
get inside, and then as you walk into this home, and again, it's a very fine home, something you'd expect from a mayor or someone in leadership role. You can see in this main sort of foyer area, there's coat hooks where several coats and some muddy boots have been placed to one side. There is a single spiral staircase swooping, and it's not like a tight spiral, it's quite a long swooping spiral staircase that heads up to an upper floor. To your right, as you step into this area, there is 2 sets of double doors to your right and another single door to your left. And it looks like there might be another single door down behind this under the staircase there somewhere, which possibly could lead to a basement or maybe out to the back of the house perhaps. She walks in behind you and asks you to remove your footwear, as the outside is quite muddy. So you do you oblige in removing your dirty shoes or your dirty boots?
I look down at my bare feet and I go, as in like BARE and BEAR at the same time.
There is somewhere for you to wipe your feet if that's what you're
I do
looking
that.
for. There's definitely that there. You remove your footwear and she leads you to the right to one of the double doors and leads you into a parlor.
Wait,
couple of big.
does your front door still work? Because the last time we went somewhere, the front door didn't work. After
She's left the front door open, like the door's still open.
Oh, well. I'm good.
So
then.
she hasn't shut it behind you, not yet, but it still remains open. And she sort of looks at it and goes, "Oh yes," and she walks over and closes the door. And she says, "Please, have a seat." And you got in this parlor, it's a typical parlor. There's a small round table, which looks like it has a tray with a tea set, a teapot, which has steam rising from it, several cups. Looks like there's some baked goods on this tray as well, maybe biscuits or scones or something of that description. There is a cabinet on one wall, which is filled with trinkets and maybe family heirlooms and things like that. On the other end, leading to the sort of front of the house is a bit of a bay window, where there is a large desk with a comfortable chair in that sort of there as well. And on the wall behind where you would be seated, there is a large painting. This painting has 4 people in it. There's a stately gentleman, looks to be in his 60s or 70s, more sort of older, but very well dressed, standing in the back, sort of in that stately sort of pose. Next to him, seated to his left, is a older woman. You would imagine probably their husband and wife, perhaps. And sitting in front of them, either side, a male and a female, probably in their late teens, early 20s, you would imagine. One you immediately recognize as Tatyana herself, and then a younger man that has a similar look to her, but with sandy brown hair instead of the dark hair that she has. She then sits on a single chair across from you as you take your seat and offers you tea and refreshments and pours cups and pours one for herself as well, and then sits back sort of cross-legged, hands on her knees. Well, thank you for coming to my home. I know you are not from this land, so I would like to offer you some advice while you are here, perhaps. How long do you intend to stay, firstly? Do you even know how you came to be here, perhaps?
We don't intend to stay. Actually, if you know the way back from whence we came, that'd be great. No offense at all intended, but
Which direction did you come to the village?
the forest, we were chased here by wolves. He sort of says it slowly, like looking her in the eye.
She does react to it. Like, you can see that she is familiar with such a thing. It's a definitely recognition. And she says, to the east then. Well, you can always try to go back that way. The wolves travel in the later hours of the day, normally. We have many wolves in these lands. Safer to travel at daytime, not in the evening, of course.
What about the ones on two legs?
What was that? I'm sorry?
The wolves on two legs, that talk.
You have seen the werewolf, then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a few in these lands. Most people do. Do you not have them where you are from?
Well, I mean, I do.
Oh, there you
Not
go.
that big, though.
They come in all shapes and sizes. The gazeling is on you for a moment, Sayera. You are familiar to me, I think. Have you been here before, perhaps?
Travel everywhere, with wandering.
Maybe I've met a family member, maybe.
Mm.
You have that kind of face.
I get that. We do have and then whoever's next to me, I'll be like, wait, is the windmill a secret? Or we have to go to the windmill,
I would
right?
say you'd probably sit next to Orvan. Like, you guys are relatively close, so I would say you would probably seated yourself according to your connections with each other.
We do have to run a small errand for the spirits.
I think it's just outside of town that we have to go.
Fair enough. If you are to travel back to the east and try to get back to where you are from, like I said, do so during the day. Do not travel at night. It's more dangerous in the evening. And, forgive me. You are in the village of Bereska. This is my home. I am mayor here, if you can call it that. My family has been leaders of this village for generations. However, recently my father has passed, and this task has now fallen to me.
Your father up there on the painting, your mother and brother, is it?
Yes, it is my father and my mother, and yes, my brother. But my brother is maybe a story for another time, depending on how long you stay.
You get many holiday goers around these parts.
What is this word holiday? I am not familiar with it.
Oh, when you go on a journey and just want to see some things, some sightseeing, and oh, by the way, is there any nice things to see while we're here?
Many
Even
things,
some
and
not so nice things.
there's many things you will see in this place. We do not get many visitors here in these lands, but those that do stay for a while and then move on.
When did that house burn down on the other side of town?
Many houses have burnt down over the years. Could you be a little more specific? So do you describe sort of roughly where in town it is?
Yeah.
He thinks for a moment. Yes, that would have been the home of Gustav and Elizabeth Durst.
Yeah, that one.
That was before my time. That house has been like that for better part of a century. Why do you ask? No?
Hello.
Why do you ask, Reed?
Yes, why do you ask? Do you have interest in the Dursts, perhaps?
I mean, we kind of own that house.
Excuse me? How do you... well, it's not really a house there anymore, so you don't really own anything, do you? And you're not from here, so you cannot own property
exactly.
if you do not
my
live
friend,
here.
odd sense of humor and a bit dumb, very dumb.
The first place we came across when we got here.
It just strikes because it's so would have been so magnificent in its time. But why does nobody rebuild or?
As I said, we are a small village, and many people have moved on and not returned. I believe maybe it's the weather that not everyone is used to this kind of gloom, and it is what I grew up with.
Do any of your visitors stay?
So some do, yes. Not many. Actually, no, probably most stay for a while.
Anyone that we can go and talk to?
Not that I remember offhand. Not anyone in Bereska, that is for sure. And speaking of which, because you are not from here, many of the people here will be standoffish with you, maybe a little aggressive. So I would be very careful on how you talk to people in these lands. I noticed last evening you garnished the attention of the 3 ladies in the inn in central town. Not a good idea. They are not, how you say, hospitable people. Not with outsiders, anyway. So just be aware. Keep to yourself as much as possible. Maybe not aggravate locals.
Noticed as well that the magic around here isn't the same. Do you know anything about that?
I know very little of magic. I am not a user of such things. If anyone wants to make an insight check as well, to just a general insight, just to see what her general demeanor is, and sort of, because she does seem to be a little guarded with you. Overall. So we've got yeah, Cyra's insight is terrible. So is Argos. Zurich's pretty good with a 21.
Natural 20.
Natty 20. Oh, there you go. Natty 20. Look at that.
I got a 5. I know
Sayre and Ori are eating scones, and
I'm really enjoying
still trying to figure out how we were in
pastries.
the house.
So I'd say Zurich's the only one that sort of picks up on the subtleties in this. She is guarded and picking her words very carefully when asked about whether people stay here. That's probably the first one that you picked up on, being a natural 20. She's also, she is picking her words very carefully with you. She doesn't know, obviously it's quite clear she doesn't know who you are. She's trying to be friendly and forthcoming, but she's also, you can tell she's probably mistrusting and a little suspicious as well.
So any recommendations for us while we're here? Other than warnings? Maybe things we can do, see, say.
So you intend to stay for a time then?
Well, more
Your
specifically,
friend-
while we're here.
Your friend seems to think that you are leaving, and very soon.
Yeah, he's just a bit of a sad sort. If you
We've got places to be, Jarek. This is not a holiday, and these people do not welcome visitors, and that's fine. This is their town.
I would suggest that if you are wanting to find your way home, you do so quickly.
Do you really miss the dig site that bad? Or
The
no? I'd expect you to miss the dig site. Like, was it that bad there? Like,
there's a dig site everywhere. You just have to find one. There's probably something worth finding here if we started digging. I'm not sure we'd be allowed to start digging. I look in
It was
another
probably
direction.
she'd be the
probably
person to
not
talk
a good
to, so-
idea. Not anywhere close to here anyway. So, what I will help you with, give me a second.
Is like full. I'm like, have you tried this? Breakfast is so good.
These pastries are amazing.
So much better than the gruel. Oh, the dunking the bread in the coffee is gross. Sorry, Reed.
Head back to the east. Stick to the road. Try not to veer too further into the forest if you can help it. Stay away from the river. It's the only other advice I can give you. Don't go swimming.
We need been there, done that.
Yeah.
Tried that yesterday. Didn't work very well. And I can breathe underwater. We need to go to the windmill. Just heard that it's a place that we,
There
could
are
check out.
dozens of windmills here in these lands.
What was the name of
We
it?
make
I'll look
bread
it
and
later.
barley. And...
Durst. Is it the Durst windmill?
Oh, you mean that windmill?
Yeah.
The Durst
Yeah, that
family
one.
mill.
Oh.
If that is somewhere you must go, again, travel during the day and quickly. Do not tarry anywhere for too long.
Is it far?
It is a reasonable distance.
Oh,
About
that's
half a day's travel from here, give or take. But again,
Well,
as I said, you are not from these lands, and there's going to be many things here that will seem strange to you. And I would suggest you return to wherever you're from as quickly as possible.
the plan. Are there any other inns along the way if we need them?
Blood of the Vine is the only inn close by.
And you'd say best to be back there by nightfall.
Well, definitely,
these
if you intend to
creatures
stay more than today, then if you venture out into the world, you must be back. Best to be back at the inn and before nightfall, definitely.
Is that because of these wolves that are out, or are there other
And
things?
other things stalk the night here, not just wolf.
Okay.
Do you have horses by chance?
Oh, forgive me. No. We are a poor village, and we do not afford such luxuries. Apologies.
This whole time I've just been listening into her accent and also from those others in the inn as well. Is there anything that I would recall from any time spent in Faerun that I would be able to pinpoint others that might have had similar accents? Or
I would say no. Like the accent is not something that any of you are really familiar with at all. I mean, Saira's accent is a little similar in some connotations, in some pronunciations, but not as thick as what hers is. Like she has quite a heavy accent. The dude at the inn, his was again quite similar, but not as thick. But it's an accent that you just can't place. Like you know a little bit about languages. You studied languages as part of your work, but this just doesn't seem like anything that you know about. Probably nothing in the last several hundred years of Faerunian history would strike a chord with you.
What happens if we do get stuck out at night? Do you have any protections? Do you think anything that we need to do to get out of the way?
Pray. If you have God to pray to, is a good idea. Protect each other, make camp, stay close to fire. Make sure you have good watch. You look capable enough to defend yourselves if needed, but better to not need it than do so, yes?
You're right. There was I mean, before we leave, potentially, there was a merchant on the way out. Would they have a lot of supplies there, or do you say?
Yes, some meager supplies, basic stuff. If you are in need, by all means visit. I'm sure he will be happy for the patronage.
Well, I guess if you don't get many travelers through.
Not many, no.
How do you sustain yourselves?
Beware of Vistani, gypsies. Oh. We have many traveling bands of Vistani here that they're not welcome in town usually. Oh. Swindlers, thieves. They may help if it suits them, but just be very wary if you are dealing with the Vistani, yes?
How will we know what they are?
You will know.
Have a crest or creed or?
Believe me, you will know if you meet the Vistani.
Okay.
I glance over at Sayera when she's talking.
Talking about gypsies.
See if there's any reaction.
I mean, no more than usual, I'd say, with Sora. Sora's used to being ridiculed as a gypsy, so I would say that Sora doesn't really react any more than she usually would.
I kick Ripple.
Kick her for staring.
Why? Did you just kick me?
I think like we've overstayed our welcome, and we haven't offered anything in return, so we should probably leave as for the best. And I didn't want to interrupt the conversation, so I thought I'd get your attention.
Okay.
If you are still here tomorrow, there is something that you may be able to help me with, perhaps. The townspeople here are not ones to be very forthcoming with aid when needed. But as I mentioned before, my father has recently passed, and I am not yet been able to move his body to the cemetery for proper burial. I cannot do this myself, as he was not a small man. But if you are here tomorrow, perhaps you may assist me in taking him to the Bereska church for burial. I will pay, of course.
If we're here, I'll help.
Absolutely.
Do the townspeople not want to help in that? They would have liked him, no, if they was their leader.
He was reasonably liked, but there's not many people left in village. And
Did they?
as I said, they are not very forthcoming with helping with such things.
Speaking about not giving you anything, I found this book and I try and reach in my pack to find the book of poetry that I found in the manor.
Oh, yeah, yep. Easily enough done.
And I pull that out and just push it across the table. You might find this useful. I read it already, but I'm not much with the gift of poetry myself, but it was a good read.
She looks down at the book and she grins and looks at you and pushes it back across the table to you. And you look down at the book and there's nothing on the cover, nothing on the spine. He pulls open the front page, and the pages are all blank. And she just grins at you. Doesn't say anything.
Like I said, it was a good read. I had to use my imagination quite a lot and put it away.
Yes, I would imagine that you're intelligent enough now to know that maybe some of the things that you pulled out of that house were not actually there. Not in the manner that you think that they were there anyway.
Well, I mean, if we need to leave you with something for helping us, I would offer some trade. Do you usually get carts?
All I will ask is if you are here tomorrow, come back and aid me with my father's burial. That is payment enough.
I'm sure we can come back anyway, regardless. We'll be here.
I would prefer you try and get back to wherever you're from. Your friend here seems rather keen to leave. And I would probably agree with him. It is a good idea that you try and return to your homes as quickly as possible. As I said, many of the people here will not be as welcoming as I am. And I would really hate to find your bodies in the middle of the street or in the river or something of such nature in days to come. And you can see when she mentions that, yeah, she looks deadly serious about finding bodies. Like, you get the impression that it's not something that she has not done before.
We will be on our best behaviour. I look at Reed. We just would like to have a look, go see the windmill, and if we can't get to where we need to go after that, we'll come back.
When you said there's other things stalking in the night, are you talking
Yes.
about like owl bears?
All manner of creature. Whatever you can think of, it's probably out there.
We go?
I think it's maybe time you head out and discover whatever do whatever you need to do and maybe try and find your way home. As I said, head east, follow the road, stick to the road. Do not veer from road if you can help it.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I thank you for taking my advice and coming to see me. And she stands and walks to the door, opens the door, and again stands at the door waiting for you all to exit the room.
As she's walking to the door, Reed's gonna grab 2 scones, stuff them in his pocket.
Roll sleight of hand check, Reed. Let's see if she notices. I'd say she probably wouldn't because she's probably got her back to you, but I just want you to roll anyway because it's good fun.
That's Dex, so I have a disadvantage.
Yes, it will be a disadvantage. It's not too bad. You managed to snaffle up a couple of scones. And rest of you move your way out of the room and then into the main hall again. Back out to the front door. She opens the front door. You're all, those that wear footwear, reacquire your footwear and head out back into the day. And only like an hour or so has passed. Again, that just heading out into that air, that what you felt going into the home, you felt a lot lighter going into her house. Heading back out into the air of this land, that heavy feeling sets back in almost immediately.
Before we headed out, sorry, can I also just like look around at the trinkets if anything like catches my eye?
Seems
Not
to
looking
be
too
very
hard.
Yeah, it seems to be very simple. Like for a manor home, there's not a lot of things on shelves or on side tables or anything like that. There's like not a lot of trinkety stuff. There are several, as you walk into the main hallway, there are several other paintings, and you can sort of if you quickly sort of look through, you can see hers, a painting of her like when she was younger, painting of her parents when they were obviously a lot younger as well. Several paintings of the brother, by the looks also. There's one of her in armor and posing in a sort of a more battle type stance with a rapier in hand. So you get the impression she may be trained in martial weaponry, perhaps. But that's about it. There's not like, again, it's quite dark in the house, even though it's daytime. So it's a lot of the trinkety stuff you don't really notice.
Thank you.
I'm gonna wait till we're enough outside and then be like wiping the scone crumbs off my skirt and being like, how dare she say that we're just like rogues and thieves and not to be trusted. And I check to make sure the deed's still in my bag. The audacity, the gall.
I mean, if you were good at stealing stuff, why don't you do it more often?
I mean, relative stealing, honestly, for the children. Although we
she didn't notice that I stole those scones, so
right.
He offered the scones. Why are you stealing something that's given away for free, you idiot?
I needed a stack for the road.
Although,
What?
have you ever been to a village where, due to unfortunate circumstances, you had to kill everyone in that village? I feel like this might be one of those villages. I feel like we should go.
That was a little unsettling, yes.
Wait.
Should we sell the deed to her? You know, because they're not going to use it, and like when we're done.
Well, you guys didn't want to tell her we have it.
And you don't want to put down roots, so
We weren't supposed to have it. I asked you to leave it in the house.
Well, I did.
You did. And if you'd told me to bugger off, I would have accepted that. But then, Sayira, stealing stuff behind our backs.
land is something I know.
She is good at stealing.
I'm assuming you're walking and talking, heading back to the merchant.
Wait, was she right about you, Sayira?
What?
I mean, you did steal the deed again after we blatantly said we were gonna leave it.
She didn't say Sayira. She just said the people, but they're lovely
she generalized.
people.
Yeah,
It's
she
very
generalized. She specifically said the Vistani, but generalized gypsies in amongst that as well, which you all know that Sayira is a gypsy. So
that'd be like saying that gnomes are all quirky. We're not all quirky.
Well, that's kind of true.
Are you a gnome?
He's half gnome.
Oh.
He looks more human. Yeah, he's a real short human. I mean, you guys would know that he's half gnome, but he looks more human than gnome.
We need to get him a little hat.
A little pointy hat and a fishing rod. I know.
Little
Yeah, that's
red
gnome.
hat.
So you continue onwards, making your way back to the merchant. You pass that same house you did earlier. The sobbing seems to have stopped, but there is definitely smoke coming from that housed and not in many others. Getting back to the center of town, you find the inn. The door is now open, so it obviously definitely is open if you wish to venture inside and maybe have a look-see. Up to you.
The inn, sorry, or the
No, the not the inn, the merchant. Sorry,
The merchantile.
the merchantile.
Build your ass.
Build your ass.
Yeah, build your ass.
Let's go have a look at
Build your ass a nice set of tools.
Yes.
I think what we're
Go
looking
into
at 8 o'clock. I think what we'll do, we'll pause for a 5-minute break because I need a pee, and no doubt Nutty wants coffee by now. So we'll take 5 minutes, guys. We're going to grab a drink and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
And I'm Batman.
And we're back.
I was contemplating putting the dog to bed, but not yet.
Hunter can. I already asked Hunter to.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there you go.
So you make it to the center of town, and you are now hanging out with the old what's his face? The inn. Like you're outside the inn and the merchant.
Let's go build our ass. Swing that door open.
Doors open. You walk into the building. The sparse light from this building sort of it's lit on the inside because again this whole place is just so dingy and dark. Again, like I said, the sign over the door is creaking on its hinges. It's about 7 feet long and about 40 feet wide. So it's a long, wide-ish building. The owner and proprietor is placing a few things on a couple of shelves as you walk in.
Hello. Good day.
He sort of turns,
Boy.
sort of straightens up his jacket, and immediately you notice a difference between him and the inn owner. He has life about him. Like he seems to be a bit more sort of with it. Like you can see he's engaging. He looks around at all of you, not just a blank stare. He's looking at you all as you come in. Good morning. Welcome to Evldoa Mercantile. Welcome, please. Come in. How can I assist you on this beautiful morning?
Oh, well, we're about to go for a bit of a walk outside of town.
Oh,
I just
strangers
wanted
to
to
these
see you.
lands.
Yeah.
Please. What can I help you with, eh? You come to buy Evldoa goods, yes. Potions, trinkets, what do you need?
Oh, what kind of potions do you have?
Oh, we have many potions. Really only have 2 or 3, but you buy. Yes, you buy. And he sort of pulls out a little container. It's literally got 3 potions in it.
And rations?
You hunt
Traveling
ration.
meals?
Yes, no ration. You hunt. We'll hunt for food. Everybody hunt for food here.
Sweet.
Fresh.
Do you have ink?
Oh.
Do you have ink and quill?
Yes. Many. And he again pulls up another little container. You can see he's got some scraggly looking quills in a little pot, and the tiniest pot of ink you've probably ever seen.
I just look at it to make sure it's good enough for copying spells. And
It'll be serviceable. Like it might take you a little longer to do what you need to do, but it'll definitely work. And even the quills, again, they will work for what you need. Although they don't look as good a quality as you would expect.
Do you have a lantern?
Lantern, yes. How many you want? 4, 5, 6 perhaps.
1.
Quickly, boy, speak.
Just 1.
1, right. And he wanders around and grabs again, rusty looking lantern. It'll work, but it just doesn't look good at all.
I'll
And
fix
what
that.
about pitons and a hammer?
What is this you are speaking of? Hammer, yes. I don't know what the other is, sorry.
It's the little things you hammer into the wall. You can
Nails,
try
yes, we have
ropes.
nails.
Bigger than nails.
Then no, sorry.
Crossbow bolts?
No weapon. Just
No weapon?
just goods.
Okay.
Ooh, silver or copper or.
I'm
What
not
else
a
do you-
blacksmith, I am a merchant,
Ah.
sorry.
I mean,
Going back to those potions, what did you have?
Yes, potion. We have 3. And he sort
What
of pushes.
kind are they? What are
I
they?
don't know. They're just in bottle. You have a look, yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Whoa, how much do you want for them?
Do you want to know what they are? You're just gonna guess.
I can.
He doesn't know what they are, so
I was gonna see if I could check to see what they were once I bought them.
you want all three? Yes. 400 gold pieces for all three.
Sorry, what?
400.
400 gold pieces.
400, yes.
Can I check them to find out what they are first?
Well, if you break, you buy.
That sounds good. Gold pieces. She kind of goes, what the fuck? How?
Have you any skill in alchemy?
I've got a herbalism kit.
That won't help you in this situation.
Oh,
Alchemy
that's
is what
one
you
of
look
my
at. Do you have any skills in alchemy? You can still make an alchemist check,
I'll make an alchemist check.
which would be intelligence, but
I'll
be no
try.
proficiency or anything like that. So you can roll an intelligence check for me.
I'm trying to find intelligence at the top, eh? Oh god, here we go. Ready, guys?
Nutty's trying to find intelligence.
You're not over. You've got no idea. Like it's one's a sort of a crimsony reddish one. The other one looks like it might be a bit yellowy. The third one you're not entirely sure.
Yeah, no. It's okay. Oh, it's okay. No. They don't look like your normal.
I might be able to see what they might do. Maybe. Maybe. I'm not sure. I might be reading this wrong, but we'll find out.
Think about it.
What are you
really
trying to
hard.
do?
Detect magic. I assume potions are some sort of.
I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to let you waste that spell slot.
Okay.
You would know that a detect magic would detect them as magic and nothing more. You just detect the magical aura. Like it doesn't give you any information on that level.
You can learn at School of Magic. Like,
potions aren't really magic on that level. It would just tell you it would tell you that they are magic, and that it would be what would be the School of Magic for that?
Alchemical.
Abjuration. Abjuration, which is protection magic. So essentially it would just give you the school. It wouldn't tell you what they were. You would need an identify spell to know what they were, or a skill in alchemical.
No, it's
nature.
not just coloured water.
That's fair.
Maybe.
That is kind of what I was thinking, but like if it doesn't work that way, that's
Magical
okay.
If you want to spend the spell slot and do it, that's up to you.
I just didn't want her to spend 400 on.
I don't think she's going to spend $400, 400 gold. But
Honestly, I look at him and I'm like, I would offer you 75.
Highway robbery, no way. 400 gold, no more, no less.
No.
You have rope.
Sorry.
Would you let us first use some magic to see if we can identify these? At least we know what we're buying.
What, you do not trust Mildred, yes?
Well, you don't know what they are.
Very
You
well,
don't know
we
what
have
they are.
some cheapskates in here. Come in quickly, let's get rid of them. They do not want to buy. And as he calls out to this character you haven't seen, from a curtain behind him, a 6'5" stacked unit steps into the room. He has to duck to come under the doorway. Again, looks human, but he's about 5 feet wide through the shoulder. He is huge. You can see the armor he's wearing. You can see his biceps, and you can see the veins and the muscles sort of as he moves and walks. That like he is a big unit. And he just sort of grunts as he steps in besides Bildrath. And he looks up at him and goes, "Hey, these people try to make deal. No deal. You buy or you don't buy.
We won't buy. I want other
They
stuff.
get out of my shop.
Oh, do you have a little red hat?
What do you think this is, Taylor? I am merchant.
You got rope?
Yes. 100 gold for rope.
Thing for children.
Ripple, see what you did?
You're Tatyana.
You want ink and quill? Yes. 150
Yes, I do.
gold for ink and quill. You seem polite. 100 gold for you.
What about the lantern?
Do you want or not?
I do. So I will pay it.
100 gold. Thank you very much. And you, lantern, 75 gold for lantern.
Does it come with
Okay.
oil?
I throw in oil for free. You're being
I give him
polite
the
also.
400 gold and say, here's the 400 gold.
No,
and
I
take
don't
it."
want your gold. Get out of shop. You are rude.
Okay.
I keep portion for me. Get out.
I know what I want to
To
do.
be good.
I know what I want to do.
Oh,
I want to. Oh no, I don't want to do this.
steal some shit.
I was
I'm looking the
gonna,
other way.
I was gonna curse him. I want to curse him for my friend.
I did
Are you
my
going to
first
attempt to
lantern.
curse him?
Would he know?
You don't know.
I'm gonna. Oh fuck it, let's do it. I'm gonna curse him. Like, how dare you speak like that to my Ripple? And I'm gonna.
How dare I
point-
speak to... What? What is a ripple? You insult me and my prices and then expect to buy? I do not think so.
I'm gonna point my finger and curse. How's that work?
You
I
can,
bet
I mean,
you
you can
it's
literally make up the
systematic.
curse. Like, choose the curse that you want to curse him with. If you want to create, a verbal component that you can, because it would have a verbal component, depending on which curse that you choose from your list.
A hair grow on your eyeballs. And I pointed him and give him a curse. Which
If as you do this, he looks directly at it, and his whole demeanor changes in an instant. And he looks and he says to Betty Wimple, "She is one of them. Get them out of my shop." And this dude like stands forward and he goes, "Time to leave, little people." And you see his arms go out, and you can see the muscles rippling in his arm, and he just starts hurting you towards the door, like pushing you physically towards the door. And he is very, very strong. It's kind of hard to resist him. He grabs you, Syra, by the shoulder, top of the shoulder, and just whispers, "Do not speak to Uncle again, lest you lose your head, little lady. Now leave, all of you."
Went well.
Do you resist in this moment, and do you continue to speak and curse this gentleman?
my breath.
Roll a what's going to be stealth check for me.
Okay.
This may be a little easier than you think, because this hulking individual is not exactly the smartest individual. So
Well, you say that. Well,
depending on your roll, obviously. So what you got there? 15? That's not bad.
Yeah.
So you mutter under your breath and complete the curse. So what will the curse do to Bildrath?
Oh.
Which one did you use?
Is it in my foundry?
I believe I put it in your foundry. If I haven't,
it under-
I think I DM'd it to you in Discord as well. I can't remember what I put, whether it's in foundry or not. I forget. But if it is,
Alright,
it'll be
well-
under your. No, I think
We'll keep
I might have put it in Discord. So
We'll keep it moving, and
Yeah,
I'll,
yeah.
I'll message you.
Yeah.
That
check
way.
your Discord and message me from there. I'm pretty sure I DM'd you to in Discord about that.
Okay.
So he ushers you out of the shop. Does anyone try and resist? Is the question.
I would just be saying sorry. It's just where I'm used to. I'm used to battering.
Does he still have the potions in his hand?
He put them back under the counter.
I'm gonna try and get around him without being seen.
Ooh. Okay, roll stealth check. This DC is going to be a bit higher because you're going to try and. Well, actually, sure.
Can I use my help to, like, I'm distracting him with my.
I'm just trying to think of the situation. You got this. The builder stepped back behind the counter. He's pulled the potions down, put them behind the counter, Periwinkle is now trying to force you guys out of the shop physically. So he's literally trying to move you. So you're in the middle of the cursing thing, so we'll leave you with that. You finished off the curse. I'd say, Arcos, you're going to need to make a acrobatics to try and get under and around Periwinkle.
Yep.
Firstly.
I mean, I am pretty short.
Yeah. And then depending on what happens with that will determine whether a stealth check is going to work here. It's not bad. So you easily slip out from underneath the big hulking arms of Periwinkle. Just roll a stealth check for me to see if he notices. He's trying to sort of herd you all at this point. Okay, he doesn't see you. I need to make a roll for Bildrath. Okay, I'm going to show you this roll just for. That's what I rolled on the dice. Bildrath has a +3 on his perception, so he will see you, and he will call out to Periwinkle like, "One is getting past you, boy. Do your job." And Periwinkle sort of steps and reaches out and grabs you by the shirt collar and pulls you back into line. Do you try and escape that is the question.
Yeah, fuck him.
So this is gonna be a strength v strength because he's got you by the collar. And Periwinkle is a big boy. Ooh, that's a low roll. Still 15 though.
You want a strength?
Just a strength check, yeah.
This is gonna go amazingly. You watch.
We still have inspiration because mine's not on my sheet.
You will still have those rolls, yes.
I don't know if it's worth using it though. I don't have a modifier. There's no modifier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll try really hard to get away. I will use it, even though it's probably going to be worse. Arcos is just that kind of jackass. Oh, it is worse. Just like kicking him with my rabbit.
Yeah, so as you try and escape, he's got a solid grip on you, pulls you back into line, shoves you out in the front, and then shoves you all out into the street. Saira, you will take that 1d6 psychic damage. So you roll that damage and take that damage. Says roll a d6. Yeah, so if you haven't got inspiration on your sheet, mark it. I can't see your sheets at the moment because of whatever's happening with the 5e, but I have to open them. So you'll take 3 psychic damage. If you're not sure how to do that on your sheet, let me know and I can do it for you.
So evil. Would it be a lamp or a hooded lantern?
It's just a straight lantern. It's just a basic ass lantern.
Yeah, okay. I'll just because I'm looking in the compendium and stuff. I'd be
so
cool
just
if
call
it's
it
just
it'd just be
lamp.
a simple lamp. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like the 15 foot and then dim light for 30.
Yeah.
Instead of the 30-30.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So yes, so yes, so Saira, you do take a little bit of psychic damage, but you know you would take that anyway. You expect it. It's the cost of the curse. But he will definitely suffer from that curse. From memory. Actually, no, you won't take that damage. Put that damage back up. It's when the curse ends. How long does the curse last? I'd say the curse will end if you curse somebody else, I would imagine. Does it give a length of time?
I think it's until I take a short or long rest.
Okay, so put that damage back on, so you're back at full health. I didn't read it properly. So you'll take that damage when the curse ends. So your next, we'll make it long rest. So your next long rest, you'll need to roll for psychic damage. So you shove back out in the street and the door is slammed shut. Again, you definitely get the impression that outsiders are not really welcome here, and questioning the price of such goods was definitely not a good idea. But you also now understand that maybe things here aren't like they are back home. Like, you're going to be striking some big price differences in your basic goods, especially from basic merchants. You also get the impression by the stock, or the lack thereof, that things are going to be quite scarce here as well. So, Jarek, you did get
And
your
the worst
Incan quilt.
part-
Reed, you did get your lantern. You did not get your potions, so you did not lose your 400 gold. As you were forced out of the shop beforehand.
As I got thrown out of the shop beforehand. I
Um,
didn't
worst
know
part,
I wasn't going
it's
to buy
only
it.
half full.
Syra did step forward to your defense. I'd say Arcos, you're probably rather pissed off. You managed to get past him, but he was a little bit quick on the. He was able to pick up and grab you back in. So you're probably pissed off that he caught you the second time and you weren't able to pull away from him. But you are now out in the street of Bereska once again. What is the plan?
Well, that didn't go so well. That I've never been somewhere that doesn't barter before. I probably should have said that to him.
I mean, he went from 0 to 100 pretty quickly.
Mm.
I don't think we could have talked him out of that.
We could set the
shame.
place ablaze that would fit the rest of the town. I've got it,
I mean,
and he grabs his tinderbox out and he's like really ready to burn this place to the
Em?
ground.
I mean,
It's not worth it.
we're supposed
I mean,
to help the.
Oil lantern would burn it pretty good too.
Let's not burn anything to the ground today, folks.
I can
Please
give
don't
my
say
money
that
back.
out loud. They might hear you say you're gonna.
We have to help the mayor tomorrow, so maybe we
What, were you afraid of the big guy or something?
wait and get some loot from her, and then
She didn't say she was gonna pay us.
You did?
She did.
I mean,
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I mean,
She said she would pay you.
I heard nothing.
One
I
funeral,
always hear about the.
three funerals, a pyre.
I'm
all
just
the
gonna
same.
drink it. Sorry.
For what it's worth, if you need to have some sort of investigation into what an item is or what it can do, I do have some spells at my ability that I could use for future reference.
Uh-huh.
you know,
How
he does
use-
dig stuff up and identify him.
How
Think about it.
useful of you now that we're out on the street.
I tried
I
to
mean-
offer. And that's when it went to hell.
Yeah, Ripple wouldn't shut up.
Usually it's Jarek who won't shut up. He's talking about vacations and shit, and all of a sudden he can't say, hey, I've got this stuff that might identify these patients, see if they're worth having.
Ripple
See,
turns around
point.
and twacks Reed upside the back of the head.
Too bad I'm short.
Oh, I will get you, maybe, if I can hit you.
Roll the hit.
What am I rolling? D20?
20 plus your dex or strength, depending on what you use to hit your melee attack.
Fuck, I'm at disadvantage
let me
too.
go back to my-
Oh, this is just against your AC. So what's your AC?
Oh, 16.
So you got a better 16. So your just roll a
Yes, you say.
d20. And for you, it'll be a -1. It's your strength's unarmed attack, basically. So 18 to hit. So she hits you. Do you intend on doing damage? Is the question.
No.
Is this
It's more of a excuse me.
just a clip around the ear or smack upside
Clip
the
around
back
the
of the
ears.
head? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you get a like that clip up the side of the head, like fucking watch yourself.
well,
See, all this negativity.
Meaning-
This is why we can't have nice things. It's why it's
Oh,
important to stay positive.
he wasn't selling very nice things either, so.
anything we wanted except potions. But
Wait a minute. I got a lantern.
mm.
And
What did you
Tariq got his ink and quill.
What did you do to him? You were saying stuff at him.
Who?
You said
I
something
mean-
about hair growing on his eyeballs. Is he
I
gonna go
mean,
hair?
you had a matchbox and you were going to burn the place down. We all say things when we get mad.
Yeah, but I want to know if he's gonna grow hair on his eyes.
Probably, but then you can stealth and get the potion. See, I think of these things.
I feel like burning would be a lot more pleasant than having hair grow out your eyes. So maybe it's a win-win.
Speaking of, we're burning daylight.
Hair on your eyes would be kind
Rick
of
was standing there with his hand up, going, I don't get mad at all."
You should try it. It's good. It's good for you.
Actually, I beg to differ. I remember you broke a shovel once, and you were pretty mad.
I do not remember this.
Convenient memory loss.
But if I broke it hitting you up the backside, then I understand why.
Oh, so he
we,
gets whacked often.
we don't want to build our ass anyway.
I mean, I might need to if I keep getting hit in the ass.
So, what is the plan? Where are we going?
To haul ass repair to the windmill before dark.
Does anybody else need anything? Oh, well, if isn't the windmill like a couple of days away?
It's a half a day away. Like it'll be
Oh,
a half day there and a half day
ah.
back. So
Right.
by the time you sort of sort this out at the end, you're still sort of mid-morning-ish. You would know that it's going to take about 4 or 5 hours to get there, 4 or 5 hours to get back. If you do the journey there and you're not held up by anything, you'll make it back to Bereska before nightfall, like just. So the thing is, do you want to run the risk of getting there and having something happen there that you're not that may or may not happen on the road and be delayed and be stuck out at night, or do you want to wait till the next day? That's the decision you've got to make.
Let's go.
We've got tents. Surely, if we get stuck, the windmill should be okay to stay at.
We got
Makes
bedrolls
sense.
at least.
They said just make a camp and stay close to the fire.
Yeah,
We should be alright.
We'll be fine.
Do we need food?
I mean, we have food.
You guys
Some
have
scones.
you
It doesn't
guys have
count.
some you had rations that you had when you left Daggerford too. So you guys do still have rations probably for about a week on you. So you're good for at least a week. So you're okay on that front. Because you guys would have had enough stuff because you were going out to hunt down werewolves. So you knew you're going to be gone for a good few days, if not a week. So you've taken enough rations to cover that at the very least.
Okay, there's none in my inventory.
I don't worry about it in your inventory too much.
Okay.
Like
That's all right.
it's
Okay.
like for me, it's a personal note. Like check your backpack, because you got backpacks and Foundry, so it'll probably be there. But as a general rule, I don't track that much too closely. If you guys stop in a town for any length of time, I generally assume you buy enough rations to keep yourself going when you're not in town. Unless we have a situation where I decide to fuck with you and steal your rations, then that could be a problem. But as a general rule, you will always have enough rations to survive out in the wilderness, because my opinion of it is adventurers are not dumb, and when they're going to stay long periods of time away from a town, they will always take enough basic supplies. So food, water, things like that. Because I find if you're keeping track of it all the time, it becomes a bit of a thing that becomes too much of a focus, and it draws away from everything else.
I forgot I had a backpack.
Yes, you have a backpack.
Sorry,
it's that thing on your back.
Let's
you know,
go.
that thing that carries all your shit.
Backpack.
Okay, Dora.
What is the decision being made? Are you going to head east, or are you going to head west to the windmill? Is east to try and leave Barovia, or west to the windmill?
Well, we gotta bury the kids, so I mean, we kind of have to go to the windmill.
It is Argos off for that.
Arcos, do you mind if we do that?
We agreed we would do it. Of course, we're going to go and lay these children to rest. Of course.
It's just that it's going to be like 2 days.
Well,
I mean,
maybe.
We did say we
Depends on if we keep
gonna
talking
meet
all day.
We'll protect
tomorrow.
you.
Goodness. We're coming back here tonight. We
Right.
have to bury her dad.
What?
The
Oh,
mayor.
her dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have to
See,
bury her dad?
now you're keeping up with, we're getting money for it. Why wouldn't?
Well, she said if we were around, but we've already pissed off a few people here, so yeah, might not want to
Yeah,
piss
an
everybody
old
off.
guy and a big dude. I mean, like, what's new?
And those ladies the other night.
Fuck them.
What?
Women?
At the bar, remember? I flipped them
Oh.
off.
Goodness.
I think they were women.
Tatyana said that
I
they were
think
women.
that
Is that
Yeah,
what you were
the
doing? I thought you were
ladies.
just giving them the native hello.
Yeah, I meant it in the best possible way.
See, now I feel bad.
No, you meant it in the best possible way, did you not?
Not in the way you meant it.
Yeah, but it's all about intent, right?
That wasn't my intent.
Now
Oh.
you know it's bad.
I'm assuming we're walking
Are
and
we
talking
gonna
here
talk?
too, by
or
the
are
way.
Yes.
we
Yeah,
gonna walk?
Just because you can't use your legs still doesn't mean we're not walking, right?
Well, thanks. Oh, fuck me.
So,
Going to hell.
in that case, then we will change your scene to a more travelly scene. You head west, leaving the village of village of Bereska behind you. You follow the road. The road is narrow-ish, maybe no more than a cart width in places. It's kind of just one of those things where it's not a well-traveled road either. Like, you can see that it has been traveled, but probably not recently. It leads sort of southwestish as you follow some of the twists and turns. But over the next hour or so, not much stands out. You get the occasional raven fly overhead, cawing as it does so. You do hear the occasional distant howling of timber wolves. It sounds these would be sounds you've heard before, even from your homeland, where wolves in the distance just bang for whatever reason. Nothing really stands out per se. After maybe, I don't know, 2 hours, you probably stop maybe for a short rest, have a bit of water, and you notice you can now see the river that you noticed as you came into the village the previous day. And you can see in the distance a small bridge which crosses over that river and continues onward. Is there anything else or anything you guys want to discuss as you continue moving towards the windmill?
I would just kind of like look around to see if there's like a rabbit or something that I could kind of see if there's anything we could like kind of
Roll nature or
not you, Puck.
perception. Well, there is a rabbit. I mean, and I put you wrong
just
too. The
thinking like a small
windmill is
animal
actually
that I
a lot further away than initially thought. It's going to take the better part of a day to get there. So that was my fault. I put you a bit wrong.
Did you say perception?
Perception or nature? Your choice.
Definitely.
So I will actually show you guys. So because I feel bad because I put you wrong. So on the map, when you see it, The windmill is up by the lake, south of the lake. So if you scroll
Near
out, you'll see.
Valaki?
Yeah, so it's south of Valaki. So you got so right there where it's being pinged.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so that's you guys are way down here, and so it's going to take a little bit longer than what I initially thought. So it's going to be the better part of a day to get there. So you'll get there by dusk.
And we want to be back to help bury the person.
We have
Well-
three bodies to bury. Which ones are more important?
And Reed, you do not see any rabbits or anything. The only life you see are the ravens occasionally flying overhead.
I mean, we can still bury the kids, but we'll be paid to bury these other people tomorrow. This other man tomorrow.
So I would say before you get too far from the village, sorry, you check your map again and realize that the map has 2 windmills on it, and the one that you initially thought was the right one is not, and the other one is much further away, so that you guys can make a decision on whether you're going to continue onward or not.
Go.
So I do apologize for that.
Shit happens.
Maybe we could just forage around the forest here and then make it tomorrow.
If you guys want to get paid,
I mean, money is always good.
I'm not worried about the money. It's not like we can spend it here, right?
I mean,
not.
I found a way to do it.
I mean, we could have, but
You go in, you give him a gift of your freshly baked scone as forgiveness.
Well, I mean, if he has hairy eyes, he might need a razor, so. Anybody got a razor?
It might be his
No.
last resort.
Well, how are we going to get around town with that guy?
I mean, maybe we just don't shop here.
Well, hey, there's other houses.
I mean, maybe the mayor will put in a good word once we bury her father.
She
wa-
was the one that told us to keep quiet.
I
True.
did hear a woman crying at a house. Maybe we could help her for some money.
Something tells me the way we've been in this village so far is that not everything is as it seems.
You think? We were in a house that burned down like forever ago.
The scone's real?
Yes, they are.
Was
Is anything real anymore?
As I'm just holding it like.
I just mean that there is
Sure.
some things here that give off an impression that they're real and other things that are quite clearly not. And while it is fun to experience these things for the first time, pointing to myself, it's probably something we should be aware of.
I hear puppies.
So as you say that, sorry, you'll sort of stop for a moment and listen, and it's in the distance, but you do hear the sounds of several wolves baying, a few growls, a few barks.
Cardinal direction, possibly.
Kind of difficult to tell. Again, it's one thing you do, like you all have taken note of this, like even walking the road, the mist is sort of perpetually all around you, but it gets thicker the further away it gets. So we're on the road, it's not too bad, it's sort of there, but as you sort of look away from the road into the forest, it's a lot thicker. And it seems to sort of always be perpetually around you, almost like it's following you. It's kind of a weird feeling. So depth perception is a lot more difficult too, with the slight haze with the mist. So you can't really tell how thick the forestry is, because it's sort of, the mist is very thick as it heads into the road. You get a few trees and then it's just fog. You look behind you back towards the bridge, you can now no longer see the bridge as it's obscured in the heavy thick mist behind you. Same as ahead of you, maybe 100, 150 feet, and then it's just a wall of fog. Can be a little bit disorientating as well.
Maybe we should pick up the pace.
Thank you.
Like
Yeah.
towards town, or
Towards the
keep-
windmill, we agreed
Oh, okay.
to the children that we
So
would
you're going to press on?
bury the children. If you want gold, I will give you mine. We don't need
maybe
these
we'll find
people's
somewhere
money.
I'm
else
not worried
along the
about
way.
gold. I was just thinking about the helping.
I mean, what if we just don't go back there too? Kind of burning bridges as we go.
Bridges here is probably not the best idea.
I mean, we kind of did with the merchant already.
Oh.
Not literally burning bridges.
So you
Look,
continue onward, following the road. You wanted to say something, Ulvan?
I think we do need all the. I think we need all the friends we can get. I'm gonna say, I vote. Back to the village. Help the man.
I must say that if we are in the village, we have a better chance at helping the mayor. We can still do what we agreed with the spirits of the children after that. But there is a time schedule on helping the mayor, not so much.
Absolutely. That's
I mean,
that was my thinking as well. We've
the
their
children have been
not
dead for a
going
long
anywhere.
time. So what's another day?
Can have shovels. We probably need some shovels.
I have shovels.
So we might need to go back to the merchant.
As you're discussing this, deciding what you're going to do on this sort of bend in the road, you hear a murmuring of voices from around the bend a bit further. You can't really see it. It gets a little louder and a little louder, and then suddenly from around the corner to the west, heading back towards the village of Bereska, it seems 5 or 6 locals, possibly. Pitchforks, a couple of pitchforks, a couple of shovels, things like that. Torches, lit torches, which seems a little odd. A bit of a murmur going on as they're moving forward, and they slow as they see you. They get a little closer, and their gait slows even more, and you can see now it's a group of men, varying ages, and sort of, again, all human by the looks, as they sort of slow and move to one side to try and not obviously be in your way or you be in theirs. You do get some very poignant glances as they move past. None of them speak to you as they give a wide berth around you, but they do all give you that sort of almost a stink eye as they pass you, as in like, okay, they know you're strangers here. You guys stand out like dog's balls. You're a herringon, you're a Simic hybrid, you're a half gnome, not that they would know that, you're a short human, and you're a water genasi. You are races that stand out as not being from here. So you stand out. Your armor, the way you're dressed, makes you stand out because you are dressed far better than most people that you've met so far. Your weapons make you stand out. Everything about you makes you stand out in this place. So you do get some very pointed looks as they pass by, generally without incident. You do hear a couple of comments under breaths about more strangers being in our lands. They should just go home, whatever. Like that sort of comment as they pass, not directly at you, but within themselves as they pass by and then continue down the road.
Hey guys, they have shovels.
Jerry said he had a it's fine.
Yes, I have a
Just
shovel.
Gonna like wave at them. Yeah.
2 is better than 1, though.
Hi.
You don't get any response. You get a couple of looks, but no one says hello back.
It was more of a like
I
good
don't.
day.
But
It's really
kind of
weird.
situation.
We hear wolves, and then just people show up.
Animals everywhere.
Even in amongst us.
I have a disguise kit. Maybe we just maybe I just teach you how to put on some makeup and we can blend in a bit better.
You want to disguise the rabbit?
Makeover.
Or you could disguise one of us to go to the shop.
Oh,
You do know I'm not actually a fucking rabbit, right?
Yeah, you're a hare.
That's racist.
I'm sorry. I did not mean that.
It's fine. I don't care.
So Puck, I have a question. Your hair ain't gone. Why do you have hair?
idiot laughter. Go.
Sire, what do we need a makeover for? Do you need to look different?
You see other people are bland. You just need to hunch over a little and, you know.
So are you gonna make us more gray?
Okay, yeah. And maybe he could be like a pet.
Oh. That's even worse than me calling him a rabbit.
I can make him a leash out of rope.
Little rabbit harness.
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm sure they're
I mean-
joking, Captain.
Wait, does that mean we need a bowl for her?
Did anyone bring any carrots?
A bowl for who?
A bowl for who?
For you, I
For-
think.
for
'cause you're
you.
water.
I mean,
At
you
that
know,
point,
water?
Arcos will grab out his dagger and he will put it to your throat. He says, "You what?"
And he's deadly serious. Like you can now see that this has gone beyond the joke. Like he is very serious.
Oh.
There is a line that has been crossed.
What's wrong?
Don't talk about Ripple. Yeah?
I mean, fair enough.
Okay, we have an agreement.
It's
You
okay.
can take
Captain.
the piss out of me all you like. I don't care. It's fine. He slowly pulls it back.
Ripple just reaches out and just puts an arm on his shoulder and says, "Are you okay, Captain?" Just quietly.
Yeah, and we all want money and we all want to go help the mayor, so I guess we go back and help the mayor then.
Sounds like a plan.
Exactly.
And then we can come do this tomorrow. We can be a bit more organised.
Don't draw attention.
If
So-
we do want those potions, I can change somebody. Do we maybe change somebody into a local and then ask for the potions?
I can also do this, but I can only do it for an hour.
Oh wait, I can only do it to myself.
I don't know that we need the potions. I was just curious because I'd not seen them before. That the colours were different.
Yeah, they were definitely not potions that you're familiar with. And you
Anyway,
guys would be
but the-
familiar with the basic healing potions and things like that. You would be familiar with what they look like. These were definitely not that.
To be careful because sometimes people will swindle you. Could be just colored water.
And let's be honest, 400 gold for 3 potions, unless there's something really valuable, is not.
I have heard
Worth
of
it.
potions going a lot more expensive than that when they are very good potions.
But then the vendor usually knows what they are.
This is also
This
true.
is true.
well, if you change into a look, maybe the locals get a discount.
I mean, maybe the prices just aren't as low as we're used to.
There's that too. I'd say probably not, because there's no competition here.
Or just because they're poor and they need money.
Oh, they can have money if they need money. I'll gladly give them money.
They didn't want it after you.
No,
We insulted them, apparently.
I didn't mean to insult them, but never mind. I'm not worried about the potions. And I think
Or
that
he's just prideful.
well, there's that too. Oh well. Never mind.
Let's go snoop around other people's houses. I'm sure they don't care about that.
Wait, what?
We could do
What kind of time-
reconnaissance
That
on
was a joke.
Tatyana's place.
Oh,
You know.
What kind of time of day are we at now?
With all the faffing around, like you walked for a couple of hours and you probably stood around talking, discussing this for a little while now. You'd be looking midday, just after midday, so to be heading into the second part of the day. I said you now studying the map and realizing that the distance to travel is a bit more than you initially thought. It's going to take you a couple of hours to get back to the village from where you are, at least. You also notice on the map there is a small lake-ish. It's not really a lake. The river joins it. It's like a bigger sort of pool on the map, and it's written on the map in common is Seer Pool, so TSER.
Yeah. Should we, it looks like there's a building
which
here as
looks like
well.
it might only be an hour or two away in the other direction, which could be somewhere else to explore, perhaps, or you can go back to the village.
Should we go and have a look at this pool? Because are they buildings on the map?
They wouldn't be on the map, no.
Oh, they wouldn't be okay.
No. It would show the loop in the river and that it's kind of it looks like it's been cleared, like it's a clearing on the map, but you wouldn't see the buildings there, no.
Looks like a nice place for a picnic lunch.
I mean, we got nothing else better to do.
Well, if we think we have enough time to get back to the village, I don't mind stopping on the way.
Just don't go in the river. Do not swim.
Do not swim in the river.
So
No.
judging from the distance on the map and then looking at what you'd need to get back to the village, going forward to this pool in the river and then back again, you'd be back probably an hour or so before dusk.
early enough.
Sounds great. Sounds great. We definitely won't get into any trouble. Let's go.
No, not us.
Is Mr. Grimm taken off too? Oh, there he's back.
Bloody
He
children.
stood away. Nothing I could never do.
So, Arcus, you would have been like that during this discussion. You've discovered there's a large pool type area, a cleared area on the map as well, which is only an hour or so from your position, and it has been discussed the possibility of go sit down and think about things. You still get back to the village in plenty of time before dusk. Maybe just explore, see what's sort of further forward as well.
Maybe we'll
Probably
hunt
be
some
very
food.
obvious to everyone that the only thing Arcos wants to do is go bury the children, and now that they've all said they want money for burying this other dude, he's just going to go along with it. He's not
Okay.
going to make a fuss.
So with that, then I would say that you'll press on, following the road. More twists and turns. Again, the forest sort of thickens in places on either side of the road, and then opens up a little bit more. And then eventually, as you after another hour or so, you round a bend, and what you see is that as the road sort of the trees give way to a more grassy sort of area, and you can now see this large sort of meeting of the waters, if you will. It's a large sort of pool-like area where it's very, looking out over, it's very flat. It's not rapidy at all. You can hear in the distance the sound of rain, maybe waterfall, perhaps, but you can hear that sound of water, like lots of water. It almost sounds like rain, but you could probably determine it was probably a waterfall somewhere nearby, further upriver, perhaps. Immediately as you sort of round the bend and see this water, you do notice a plume of smoke rising above the trees close in the distance as well. Single plume of smoke, which would probably, I mean, all of you have been out in the wilderness and you've seen campfires. You'd get the impression that it might be from a campfire, maybe slightly larger.
Signs of life up ahead, by the looks.
Wait.
Yeah,
You
let's
can
hope
even
it's not
hear
those
this.
ladies.
Yeah, you can even hear the sound, the faint sound of music in the distance.
I would say let's ignore that. How far away does it look like it is?
Yeah, a couple of 100 feet. Like you can, it's
Oh.
on the other side of like you got the clearing, and then on the other side of a small bunch of trees, you can see this plume of smoke, and you can hear the sound of music. And
Ooh,
it's
should we
really,
go and
it's
investigate?
kind of happy-ish music. It would be music that Sire you'd probably recognize as your family one for song and dance. So it's not a song you're familiar with or music you're familiar with, but the tempo and the general air of it would be familiar to you.
Shall we investigate?
Sounds like good people.
Looks at the rest of the group.
It's a lot of jovial noise for this area that we don't usually have.
I mean, it sounds like it's a lot of fun. I'm happy to keep going. There's no point just traveling forwards and then backwards and forwards again
True.
all day.
Well, if somebody just read the map, Brian. Apparently there's
I blame Sire. It's all her fault.
gonna keep going.
Always my fault. Yeah.
You got it right last week, because I was thinking, I'm sure it was a day at least.
I'm pretty
From
sure. Yeah, I
last
said it was
week.
about a day. Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably
Yeah.
just
If
missed.
only we'd watched the YouTube.
I know. If only I'd done my recap properly.
Wait. We're supposed to do that?
If
Anyway,
only I'd wrote my notes properly.
yeah. Well, hey, I should do the same. You push on, and probably I'd say tentatively, like you wouldn't be rushing headlong into something completely unknown. So as you near it, the music gets a little louder, and you do find now what seems to be a camp of sorts, number of tents. Let's see if I can find my splash screen of this, because I do have one here. We will activate this one, you guys. So you
We have no vision.
approach. Was that you can't see anything?
Yeah, we can't see anything. Need a
It's
token.
blank.
No
You need
No,
a
you don't.
token.
No, you don't. I just haven't done a thing. Badoosh, now you can see it.
Damn.
Nope.
No.
You should still be able to see it. What the
No.
hell?
It
hang on.
popped up saying
Token
we need a
vision.
It's the
token.
dark in here.
So
Try
you-
that.
yeah,
Oh, there
there
it
we
is.
go.
Huh.
I had token
Ooh.
vision turned on.
Pretty.
What do you know?
So, see a bunch of tents, a large colourful tent on
Half
closer
tents?
to the shore.
Huge tent.
A few wagons around what seems to be a reasonable sized bonfire, and there's a few people seated around this bonfire. You can still hear the music, and you can make out a few people dancing and clapping and things. You're now about 100 or so feet away. Seems rather friendly and inviting. It sounds that way. They seem friendly enough. Do you continue to approach?
Why not?
Get out my, I have a loot in my pack. So I'm going to get out the loot and I'm going to try to, mimic some of their tune. Kind of just like a
Play along.
acknowledgement of hello. Yeah.
Roll a performance check for me. we'll see how good your ears are when it comes. And I'd say roll at advantage. It is, even though it's not a song that you know, it is something that you are reasonably good at, and it is part of who you are after all. And you sort of play a few notes, picking the notes that you can hear initially. As you get closer, you start picking up on the melody, and you start playing along quite skillfully. And as your music reaches their ears, the another lute player that's playing stands up and turns, gives you a nod and starts playing along with you, and changes his tempo slightly, to see if you match, which you do. And he puts a bit of a flourish into his, and he beckons you over with a nod as you approach, and all of you sort of gather around the bonfire. You see many men and women, and there's a few children floating around as well, but many, probably a dozen or so men and women. Women are dancing, twirling, and they're all very colourfully dressed. Mix of ages, all humans. Again, you've come to discover that pretty much everyone here seems to be human. But they're singing and dancing and clapping, and they, one of them, a young man, walks directly, or dances directly up to you, Ripple, and holds out a hand as if for you to join. Gives you a deep bow as it does so. So he grabs your hand and pulls you into a like a spinning. So he grabs you both hands and starts spinning you around and to the rhythm of the music. A younger woman, maybe probably a teenage girl, late teens, Arcos, does the same for you. Reaches out both hands as if to, and curtsies deeply to you, and invites you to dance. Do you join in?
Yeah, he would.
And she doesn't seem bothered by your race at all. Like these people don't seem averse to who you are. The fact that you're not local or from here, they are definitely way different than anyone else you've met so far in this land. Again, very colourful, jovial, singing, dancing. You're offered a bottle of wine in the course of this as well. Does anyone partake in the wine that they're offered? And you would all be offered in this moment. Syra definitely does, of course.
I will as well.
Orvan.
Arcos will too. He's beyond arguing with his companions. He's just going to
So for the next
lead and live it up.
The next hour, song and dance and drink, and eventually the music dies down to one or two people just playing basically ambient music, more softer music being played. And one of the younger gentlemen, the one that was playing the lute, walks up to you, Sire, and bows deeply. Greetings, welcome to our camp. You play well.
Thank you.
And these are your friends, yes?
Oh, of course they are, yes.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our camp. Our food is your food. Our drink is yours. Please, be merry. Have fun. And he takes a seat next to you, Sire. So what brings you to our humble camp? Is it the river? It's beautiful, is it not?
Oh, it's lovely. We've just been exploring around the area. It seems that towns aren't very welcoming.
No, we are not welcome in town either. We are, how you say, gypsy. We travel, we play music, we drink, we have fun. We have circus from time to time. We have magic and fortune. You know how it is. It is fun, and they don't like that here. They are dreary and drab, and full of sorrow. So depressing. You there? I have not seen one of you here before. What are you called? And he motions over to you, Arcos. And forgive me if I'm being rude, but I have not seen your kind before.
Not at all. Herongon is the name of my people, and I live a similar lifestyle to you. Me and my companion here, Ripple, on the seas.
Ah, yes.
You understand?
Yes, I know what sailor. live on the boat and travel on the water. I've met some sailors in my time. Happy people normally. You are Herringon. I have not heard of this. Interesting. And your companion. And sorry, forgive me. My name is Ivan, and this is my family. We are, as I say, we are travelers and joyous people. We like to have fun. And your friend, you say, Ripple is. And what are your people called? You have. You are colorful. I like your color. It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. We're Genasi. I'm a water Genasi.
I have not heard of this.
Elemental.
Of course.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm at one with the water.
I do not recommend trying to be at one with water here. It's a little different than other places.
Already tried and not good.
It is not so good. You can drink it, but not for swimming or for anything else. More drink, please. Bring more drink, more food. It is good to see other faces here, a bit more colorful than the locals. In the Bereska, we are ridiculed and forced out of town. They do not like us there.
I not like
we
you.
try and stay. Well, we try and stay away from them. We're too loud and too colorful. You know how it is. And again, as you're sort of talking amongst yourselves, an older woman comes over and leans into Ivan's ear and whispers into his ear, and he nods and says, it appears our benefactor would like to talk to you. Where are you staying? You're staying here. You're going to stay here with us tonight, surely. We have plenty of room for you all, and it is more than safe. You do not have to worry about anything here. And better than in town. More better drink and better food. You stay, yes?
Well, how do you keep away the things in the night?
There are many creatures of the night. We have fire. We have plenty of young men to fight off anything that tries to attack the camp. But we are too loud for most things. They don't bother us much. We go party into the night. No, we party. We have big fire. It's fine.
I look at the others and say, better food and better drink. And better company by the looks of it.
I see you are reserved there, Mr. Herringon. You are safe here. You will be fine, I assure you. You have my word as a Vistani. You have great welcome here in our lands.
If my companions are in agreement, I would hate to do anything that they were not okay with it. I don't speak for them. They have voices of their own, I think.
And you have a voice of your own. And forgive me, I did not ask your name. I give you mine, as I say, Ivan Vilenkov, and you are, good sir.
Arcos Pauk, man of fortune. Well, man, Herringon of fortune.
Man will do fine. It matters not to me. We are all men and women here, and as long as you are enjoying yourself and loving life, it does not matter. So, yes, I insist you stay and drink and party with us tonight, and we will ensure your safety throughout the evening. You have my word.
I mean, we can't. Again, nothing permitted to do. And we have lived this lifestyle before. So
and of course, I wish to play music with this beautiful lady once again. It's a beautiful music. Be an honor to play music with you again. And your name? And he turns to you, Sire.
Kane. Of the Kane family. You might know we've traveled I don't know if
This
we've
name
traveled
is
around
familiar
here,
to me a little. I
but-
believe I know a little. A few of the Gans. Good family.
I showed like the hidden colors underneath my overskirt, like I've been hiding them. So
Why do you hide? This is sacrilege. You must let it show. Do not hide the color. But I understand. If you have been in town, they are less hospitable with people of color. They're so dirty here. It's horrible. Anyway, I digress. Madame Eva wishes to speak with you all before the evening is out. If you just give me a moment, I will make sure she is presentable. And he gets up and excuses himself again, gives you a deep bow, and heads into the large, colourful tent. And the tent, the canvas itself isn't colourful. It's been draped with colourful blankets and almost like curtains and things like that. It's just masses of different colourful fabrics. He walks inside, and maybe 10 or 15 minutes, he comes back and says, "Hey, Madam Eva will speak to you now. Please follow me." And he leads you towards the tent, and leads you inside of the large tent. And I'm not going to describe it because we're going to leave that till next session. We're pretty much there. So next session you will meet with Madam Eva, and I will describe the interior of her tent and what you see. Well done, everybody. Another great session, a good RP from all. A hairy situation avoided in the mercantile a little bit. Although someone has now been cursed, so that may stand out to him.
Hairy
Maybe he's going to have hairy eyeballs. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us. As I said, we don't really interact with chat while we're playing. I do appreciate you guys being here, whoever you may be. I do see many of your names popping up in the chat, and we see a Magic the Gamer hanging in there. I'll call him out because most of us know who he is. And even though he doesn't like being called out, but we'll call him out. Cool dude. But we will see you guys again in a couple of weeks. Our next session will be potentially the 9th of November. Oh my God, we are getting so close to that end of the year. Holy crap. So yeah, 9th of November. We penciled in for that. Again, if the players, you can't make it, let me know. It'll go into the Discord. We'll deal with that. There is possibility over the Christmas period we may skip a game or two depending on people's commitments or lack thereof, depending on how that goes. For those in the chat and for those in the YouTube, in the Discord, this VOD will make it up onto YouTube in the next couple of days, where you can watch it again or catch up, or if you don't remember anything, like the DM who doesn't remember how long it takes to get to a windmill, we will, there is the YouTube video for that. But apart from that, we're all done. Session 7, the Lady of Bereska, is complete. Session 8 in a couple of weeks, which will probably be titled simply Madam Eva. So we will see you then. Thank you very much. See you next time.